And you're letting go. Shakti. Namaste. My name is Kirk Kerber. I'm a trance medium, psychic, spiritual advisor, spiritual medium, trauma therapist, and executive mentor to a world-class clientele. And this is video 4. I don't know, you guys are sticking it out, watching each one. The title of the series is called The Basics, How to Become a Master Healer. Really, it's not so much about being psychic as being a master healer. I usually make the videos at like 3 in the morning because that's when I'm in my most power. I don't know if I'm a night person, but I thought I would invite you into my daily ritual to show you how simple it can be to establish a spiritual practice. The reason that you get a daily spiritual practice, and when I work with people, we start, if they've never done a spiritual practice on a daily basis, we start with 5 days on and 2 days off. And the reason is, once you start to find that sacred space inside of you, you have to delineate and find the sacred space. And so once you find it, and then you take the weekend off, you realize, like, it's hard to find. And it takes months, if not years, to find that place inside of you that is undisturbed by anything. So, the first thing, and this leads into psychic mediumship, you have to have discipline. Your mind has to be disciplined. So, as I've said in earlier videos, you want to be a master of something, you first must master yourself. So, the first thing is to master the breath, Shakti. Your point of existence and presence should be exactly right here at the breath. You know, most people, they kind of like hold their energy like somewhere stuck in their head, and or they hang out below the belt, and we've met those kind of people. They're sensual people, they're sexual people, they relate to the world in a state of seduction, no judgments, and they can't seem to like clear out the third chakra. And the third chakra is really where all the blocks are going to be. Most people think it's going to be a sex block, but it's not. The main block is usually the solar plexus and the heart being frozen or not open for whatever reason. So what you really want to do is redefine your center. So you have 3 centers, you know, you have a center that goes this way, and then you have a center that goes this way, and then you have a center that goes up and down. And so you want all of those aligned without any resistance or conflict. So that's a master, is completely aligned with what they're doing at every turn. And breathing, aware of your surroundings. So you want to just keep practicing the center. And you want to do it in your home, and you want to do it same time, same amount of time, same place. And you do that 5 days on for up to 20 minutes. A beginner's meditation is 5 to 7 minutes. And, or you can do like a 5, 5, and 5. 5 minutes talk to God, 5 minutes listen to God, 5 minutes close your eyes and simply allow yourself to feel the God spirit or goddess around you and in your space. So, I'm a little foggy, I'm a little rough around the edges, you're waking up with me. And I had a question earlier this week from somebody. How do you get into a trance? So we're going to discuss that. You use all of your senses. And for anybody that's been unbelievably like high on drugs and alcohol, the state of being in a trance is very close to that. So if you've ever been drunk or high, I don't recommend doing mediumship work for others drunk and high. I happen to be sober 35 plus years. But I started doing mediumship work for people immediately after I got sober. I was becoming a medium when I was drunk and high, and I have no idea what I was channeling, but I was definitely channeling something, and it probably wasn't good. So when I got sober, my first teacher showed up, and she said, you know, don't ever bring something into your body. That's a no-no. There's no reason for you to leave your body, and she was telling me you need to get in your body and around your body. And I didn't know what the hell she meant. It took 20 years to process that. And also clean out the energy blocks and the dust and the dirt and the bad karma, and just to learn to breathe. So the first thing you really, as a master of anything, you need to master your breath. Okay, so now every breath should be a breath of gratitude. That's right, believe it or not. If you can get there, that every breath is an affirmation of humility and gratitude to your deity, whatever you pray to. I don't make any judgment on the people I work with, what they pray to. It could be a mother goddess. You know, you could be Wiccan, pagan, hardcore Christian. You're still going to need a spiritual practice devoted and dedicated to your higher power. So when you come into recovery, they tell you you can choose your higher power. It could be the ocean, it could be nature, it could be Mother Goddess, it could be Jesus. It's up to you. A power animal. But you need to connect to the fact that you are not in a vacuum, that you are in a sea of rage and pain and desire and fear and terror and joy and sensuality and sex. That's the drill here. And if you're an empath and you're unbelievably, what's the right word? Pliable, malleable, you can suck up all these energies around you. And if you don't know how to have discipline and boundaries, psychic, spiritual, and metaphysical boundaries in place, you're just going to be sitting there watching the news, sucking up all the toxic shit of the world. Then you're going to go out. And, you know, a lot of healers are just born healers. And so when you get around a parasite or a psychopath or a sociopath, they're going to know that you're a healer and an empath, and they're just going to dig right in and try and get your energy and get into your mind and fuck with you and even appropriate your body. So I had to learn all of that. So just put that on the clipboard and understand that, you know, you need some serious empath recovery and some serious empath education to stop the people from coming in. And this is why the spiritual practice of 5 days a week is so important, because you find your energy. So the first important thing is that you breathe. You get safe in your body, in your home, and your higher self will eventually show up. 3 to 6 months to a year. That's your basic scale. You know, it takes like a year to, I was going to say get sober. It takes a lot longer than that to get sober. Even when you put the alcohol down, you still have to get sober after that. It takes a lot longer to be able to find the sacred space within you that can never be violated. That, you know, place that is God. There's a place of us that is God, Goddess inside of us. It can't be destroyed. It has love and safety and serenity. And you have to find that. And you only find it by just hitting your mark and doing repetition. Just repetition. Let the body relax. Let the body breathe. Let the body exist in a state of non-terror or fear in the safety of your home. And pretty soon you will find the safety inside. And when you do it, as I said, same place, same time, same amount of time, eventually stuff's going to start happening. Yeah, and you're going to feel waves of peace. You might have to wade through a lot of pain or fear or darkness or shadows or angels talking to you and spiritual messages, and that's not the drill. The drill is to just hit your mark and discipline your mind. The mind of the master is no thought. The mind of the master is tranquil, and a disciplined mind is worth a fortune. Okay? So you have to find it, and one day you're just going to feel this like shift in your meditation practice, and your mind is going to be completely clear, and for the first time you're going to exist without thought. And that is the most powerful you can become. Then if you keep doing it another year, another 5 years, then eventually when you go outside and people are talking and attacking and moving and asking, you're just going to maintain that center at all times. The mind of no thought. When you get into the mind of no thought, then you are ready to become a full medium to divine and get divine intelligence. That's the state that you get full consciousness or clear cognizance of everything around you. So there's several gifts. We'll go into them in a minute. Let's start our morning practice. You're like, hey, Kirk, what's happening? We just woke up. Let's have a morning practice. Okay. Here's what you're going to do. I got my favorite Nag Champa. And although this is going to seem obvious to people that, are advanced witches, Wiccas, but let's just do it with me, okay? So, you light this. You get some up in your nose. You get some around your aura. And you're going to make a cross and a pentacle. The pentacle, believe it or not, is not an evil symbol. It's a symbol of protection, actually. You can make a circle. You can protect the crown chakra. The ears, these parasites, they like to hang out in your ears and whisper and say shit to you. So, the altar is behind me. So we're preparing the altar for the divine, to invite the divine. And we're going to light a candle. If we can light a candle. So you might want to have music as well. So what you want to do is appeal to your senses in your spiritual practice, and then deny the senses. Okay? So you're getting everything ready. So you might hang on. Safety first. So we've got the incense around, and I brought some essential oils. I also make my own essential oils. So today I brought some patchouli and some lavender. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do in preparation to meet the divine is some lavender. Heavenly. You know, most psychics respond really strongly to smell because the psychic receptors, most of them, a lot of them, there's several areas where you have psychic receptors: your ears, obviously your heart, and but your nose and this whole area with the third chakra is really where the bulk of the psychic receptors are. So most full-blown 5-star psychics have an unbelievable sense of smell, very strong sense of smell. And you know, if you've ever heard the phrase, this doesn't smell right, you know what I mean? It may not feel right, but it doesn't smell right. Something smells wrong. That's why. It's an old saying about, you know, something in this, it just smells bad. And it is bad. It's bad energy. It's a bad person. So here's your patchouli. Patchouli is traditionally also used for protection, psychic protection. And I don't know, I have some sandalwood up here. Oh. So we could either just smell that, or put it on these centers right here, back of the neck. I feel calm already. Then you might want to try some music. Alexa, put on the Zen Garden.
Zen Garden by Sound Healing Center on Amazon Music.
Okay, so the next thing, so now we've got the music. And you're going to want to take your cauldron, your incense burner, you know, and you can spend dope amounts of money on all the ephemera. Seriously, you can spend like $1,000 at the drop of a hat, or you know, you can spend very little money, like around $40. So we take the incense, okay, we get it up in our nose, really fresh, really strong, really clean white sage incense will smell like, almost like marijuana. But it has a deeper, earthier smell. And it smells great. So the smaller you burn, actually, is going to be the better. So don't light some huge bonfire in your house. It's not recommended. This is perfect. And blow it out. Okay, so we're clearing the throat and the heart chakra. Then around the crown, around the body, sign of the cross, or if you prefer, sign of the pentacle. Now the space and the intention for the space where you are is now been set. If you don't like smoke, you can burn the essential oils in an oil burner, which is about $10 for a cool one. Oh, and that's it. So then you begin your spiritual practice. So let's just close our eyes. We'll set an alarm for like just a minute. Okay, just do it with me. Get your feet wet for 1 minute. Prepare to meet the divine and get back into your body. So We'll have 2 minutes. Okay? So close your eyes and come into the full presence of now. Listen to the sound of my voice. I want you to relax your mind, body, and spirit. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Now, keep your eyes closed. So, just try to feel your body. Is there any pain in your body? Is there any energy blocks? You can also ask Mother Goddess, angels, avatars, your spirit guides, to move your energy around. So, keep your eyes closed, and we will now go into a full meditation for 1 minute. Whoa. I went deep. Wow. I almost slid right off the ledge of the universe on that one. So that's the drill. 5 days a week, 20-minute spiritual practice consisting of affirmation, contemplation, meditation, or the 5, 5, and 5, and then 5 minutes to write. So it's 5 minutes talk to God, 5 minutes feel God, 5 minutes listen. Just purely listen. Or you can just do a 7 to 10 minute meditation for a beginner. And the drill is discipline. Hitting your mark 5 days a week, 5 days on, 2 days off. And you can't meditate an hour on Monday and say, oh, I'll skip 3 days. That's not how it works. In order for you to discipline your mind, you have to hit that mark and make that space every day, same time of day, same amount of time, same place. Then eventually, 3 to 6 months, maybe a year, your higher self will start showing up. You're going to feel completely different in your body. Don't look for changes. You don't get addicted to, I got a psychic message. That's not the thing to do. The thing to do to become the most powerful person, an effective healer, is first you have to clear the mind. And yep, that takes around a year, probably, if you've never meditated. So you're going for the clear mind and the no mind. Okay. Try to avoid the idea that you want to be pure. Purity is fine, psychic purity, spiritual purity, but you're not going to really be able to achieve purity unless you choose to incarnate hundreds of thousands of times, and then you get into your new body and you have to do it all over again and remember all these past lives. So a person like me walked in, I probably had, 100 lifetimes where all I did was meditate, And so meditation is very germane to me. It's very, it feels like I'm home. I could sit here and meditate all day. So, you've probably done it in other lifetimes. And for healers that you walked in with the gift, You know you were born with the gift. You know that you were born with magic or healing powers. You accrued these gifts in other lifetimes. It's just like a video game. You know what I mean? You get like this little gift, that little gift, this little bonus. And eventually, you know, nobody can teach you to be a healer. I can tell you, like, these are the things. But the real message is in your energy. Once again, another plug about why we have a spiritual practice. Because the message is just in your aura. The message of being a healer. You just literally 100% are that thing after a certain point. So it's not so much what you say, it's not so much your energy that you're channeling to the client to help them and heal them. It's really what you are. Now let's go back to my first teacher. Why would she say don't leave your body? She said to have a body is a gift. Don't leave your body. Don't ever give your body up to anybody. And she also said that when you read, this is, let me see, 38 years ago that I had my first adult teacher. She said, when you read, there's no reason to leave your body. Ever. She said the people that are real psychic mediums, they don't channel like a deity. She said it was bullshit. She said if you're the real deal, you shouldn't have to leave your body no matter what. There's no reason to leave your body. Even when I have a client and the client is like, I want to talk to a past relative, and I get those kind of clients rarely, almost never. I almost never get people say, I absolutely have to talk to my past relative. Most of the people want a reading, and then the relatives might show up in the reading. But even then, if I was trying to contact somebody on the other side, I stay here. I don't leave. I don't. In the case of a shamanic soul retrieval, on rare occasion, I have to leave my body and go into other dimensions and like grab the soul and say, let's go. You're going back to your body. But it's really only less than a minute. So you would find the soul first and project them out on the cosmos of where they are. That would have to do with being a claircognizant knower. So let's go to, you would actually just automatically know where the soul was. So let's list out the spiritual gifts, first of all. So you have clairvoyance. And clairvoyance is the ability to see and to have visual telepathic information that others cannot see. Let me fix the screen here. We have clairaudience, clear hearing. The power to hear sounds from angels, avatars, and other spirits, and to hear the information that you're trying to get for the person or yourself. Then we have clairsentient. That's feeling. So a clairsentient person is going to be like, this doesn't feel right. I have a bad feeling about this. My gut is telling me X, Y, and Z. That's clairsentience. And then a rare form is psychic knowing, clear knowing, and that's claircognizant. That's really the most powerful type of clair, in my opinion. And I'm a full claircognizant knower. Most of my clients are also full claircognizant knowers. That means you go into a trance, or you're not in a trance, and all of a sudden, everything falls away. Every single thing falls away, and you suddenly just know. So that, to me, is the biggest type. Guess how many of these clairs I have? All of them. I was born with all of these. The next one is Clairvoyance, which I always forget how to say. It's that you can smell energy. So, like, sometimes I can smell other people's energies. I can smell if they're smoking crystal meth. I can smell if they're smoking pot. If they're cooking and the smell of like cookies around the person, I can smell that too. It's a psychic smelling. Energy does come very, very much with a smell. People's energy has a nasal imprint. If they wear a lot of cologne, I wear lots of cologne and lots of oils. And my energy would definitely have a very specific, energetic, psychic smell. And then we have clairgustance, taste, the ability to taste without actually putting anything in your mouth. So once again, this kind of follows the nose thing, but that one's kind of rare. I don't really experience that, but I have. Let's leave it at that. I don't really use that when I do a reading, but the other ones I definitely use all at the same time. And then there's, you have the ability to receive information by touch, clairangency, clear touch. It's also known as psychometry. So, I don't know. I mean, you could like take something, you know, that somebody uses all day long. Say it's a watch. Psychometry, you've probably seen this in the movies. The person's dead or the person's lost, and then the psychic like holds the watch and says, you know, I see him in a field. So psychometry is taking objects and holding them. How are we on time? All right, 32. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh. Okay. So, I guess I stopped it. Now, I had the spiritual practice 5 days a week also gets you ready to go straight into a trance for your clients. Okay? So once you like really have achieved that no mind, clear mind, disciplined mind, then you are really ready to become a psychic medium and get messages for other people and be in a state of the trance. So that that spiritual practice prepares you to be in that non-wavering state of a trance. Now, I have been in readings for friends and or clients, and I do use the cards, and not every psychic uses cards. Some of them are astrologers, some of them are Reiki masters, some of them read tea leaves, it's an actual thing, or coffee grinds, or palmistry. So, but I went right to the cards. I went to the cards at 24 years old, so I've been reading ever since. And, you know, it takes about 10 years to really learn the cards. I know some of you are like, it doesn't take that long. I read the book in 3 months. No, you're talking about mastering. There's, you know, a lot of things in this life are so unbelievably, deceptively simple that it takes 40 years to figure out how absolutely simple something is. So the more advanced you are, things don't become more complicated. The more advanced you are of a person in a subject, it doesn't become more complicated. It becomes simpler. So Einstein said, if you can't explain it to a 7-year-old, then you don't know it. And so when I work with my clients on application, repetition, application, repetition, application, repetition. So if you've been reading the cards 9 hours a day for 10 years, yeah, you probably know it. You know what I mean? If you've been reading the cards 10 minutes for 9 months, no, you don't know it. Because there's, it's a system within a system within a system within a system. And just like astrology, there's just always more to know. So I have a couple daily decks. Okay, so if you're going to pull a 1-star, a 1-card, I really like the big deck, and I use the big deck for clients on Zoom calls. They just, you want to impress your client, and you want your client to be able to see the card and see the detail in the card. And from my own personal deck, I have, it's called the Rider-Waite Albano, the Albano deck. And these are kind of like 60s pop art colors. It's not really a common deck. Like, you have to dig around to find it. But this is my second Albano deck. I go through decks, I'm really hard on them. But a good deck should last around 10 years. If it doesn't last around 10 years, it's a shitty deck and get rid of it. And it's don't buy from that company again. Because daily basis, working deck should be, and it's going to get flaws and frayed. And, kind of the dirtier and more well-worn it looks, the better. But yeah, a deck should last around 10 years. I will also plug my friend El Goliath deck. I got the second edition. I happen to know El Goliath. And this is a deck that, this is for doing hardcore internal clearing, shaman work, shaman animal medicine work. And the card in the box is breathtaking, and it sold out on Amazon like 7 times already. And, we were talking while he was working on all of this. It's, I don't know, he just, was ready, and he put the pedal to the metal. He did all the drawings. And, this is a deck I'll be studying on and off the rest of my life. And, it's made on beautiful stock, so I couldn't plug the El Goliath deck enough. And El Goliath is also pure of heart and a beautiful soul and a very powerful soul. So this deck really is not for a newbie. There you go. And I've interviewed him twice on Instagram live feed. So if you want to see those interviews, they're on YouTube somewhere. So those are your decks. And that's my particular brand of mediumship. So the last thing that we're going to do in this, how to go into a trance. So if you're sober, I'm sober now. I don't know how to go into a trance, I used to do cocaine. Like I said, if you, are in recovery, just go back to when you were high. And, I don't know, it might trigger you, but the access point of, psychic mediumship is exactly like that place of being really high. Right before you went into a blackout. There's this very specific strata, and when you hit it and the door is open and you're also protected and your mind is also clear, it's like you've entered a no time zone. You step out of time. That is the trance for the psychic medium. You step out of time. So I don't always close my eyes. I don't have to at this point. I'm always in a trance, basically, rather than out of one. I personally stay ready so I don't have to get ready, because at any given time the phone could ring. Hey, can you give me a reading? I need to see you in 2 hours. And it's what I do professionally right now, and I've been doing it professionally for over 10 years, and then I learned to read cards at a bartending job I had. I was a bartender sober for 20 years. And I was not only reading people walking through the door, it was really like a master class. So if you're confined and be a bartender in a high profile place where 500 people walk by your bar every day, you'll be learning to read energy all over the place. And so this place that I worked in, it was 3 floors. It held 500 people at one time, and every single person that walked through the door walked by the bar. It had this huge bar that was like 20, 25 people, and you could see everything. And so I would see all the people, and I was just reading energy while bartending. And then I started reading cards at the bar after the place cleared out after 9. I had the cards, and people would see them. I would never really say, you want a reading? But they would see the cards sitting there and say, are those your cards? Yeah. Are you a reader? Would you read my cards? Yes. So I was able to do that, and I wasn't charging, and so it provided fun and entertainment. And then I would ask them, is this right? I'm getting this message. I'm seeing this. And they would either say, oh my God, it's right on the money. Or how do you know that? Or no, that's not true. And so there is this period of you're trying to find that thread. You're trying to find that space. And so I cut my teeth on reading cards while bartending. So I was reading and bartending at the same time, and then going back to the person, and it turned me into a 5-star medium. It just I can be in a trance in a couple minutes without a doubt. So if you can do something like that, go to a place where there's going to be a lot of people at a carnival or a fair, and read for free. Yeah, you should be, the first 5 years, you should be doing it for free. Or give me $10 or something. You should not be charging $100 out the gate. Absolutely not. You don't know what you're doing. And that's also for a person watching this. How do I find a good medium? Look for the amount of time they've been reading. Look at their aura. And, look at their style. Everybody, you have to get your own style as well. So my style is kind of no bullshit. Where's my magic wand? I have a magic wand here. And so I usually, if it's in person, I lay a really nice table out. I make some tea for them. Would you like some tea? Comfortable seat. Burn the sage. They want the whole show, and you have to give it to them because they're entering the divine with you. You can't just sit them in the chair and start reading. You do have to have a warm-up for them to ascend up with you. And then you usually will have little ephemera here's the Buddha key. You know what I mean? Point to the cards, and you have to explain things to them. So you would have this on the table, and you would say, this is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is about overflowing love. It's about protection. And, you need a little tiny bit of theatricality about it. You want to be yourself, but a little more animated, but not completely over the top to where you're like a bad movie version of a psychic medium. You know what I mean? I'm getting messages. Okay, but when they get in that chair and you burn the incense, you give them some nice tea. You might want to make some yerba mate for them, or kava kava. And they go into the flow state with you, and now you're in the reading together, really. So you always want to invite them in. We're going to have this thing. We're going to open up the channel, and we're going to go together and see what happens. It could be a tarot reading, or it could be a straight channeling. A lot of times it could be an astrology reading as well, or palmistry. So one other thing to get into the trance, we're at 45 minutes, is these are herbs, and these are herbs that build your psychic spiritual power. This is not the only one, but this is one that I've been taking for over 25 years. I don't take it every day, but it does. It cleans the pineal. It cleans out the higher centers. Traditionally, the Reishi Mushroom was only for royalty, and they outlawed anybody to take it because, of course, they only wanted to have spiritual power, and they wanted everybody else to be a court low. What has changed on planet Earth since then? Nothing. So, you got to find people like me to tell you the drill. So, I do have 20 questions, or I think it's 18. 20 questions that people most often ask a psychic medium. So, should I kind of wrap this up and do that next time? We had the questions. I think we'll do it next time. I had the questions that of what's it like to die, and I haven't answered that yet. I brought it up in the first video. So, okay, we're going to save 20 questions for our next vid. So that would be vid number 5. And we're also going to just do one vid on just the tarot. So please hang out with me. So, I know I look like I just woke up because I just woke up. Okay, so what's it like to die? We'll wrap it up with that. Do you see dead people? That's one that a medium gets a lot. Yes, I see the dead people, but I mean, it's this really unbelievably involved conversation about ghosts and spirits and souls that have departed and are in other dimensions. Anything you can think of is out there. There's angels, there's demons, there's parasites, there's healers. What you want to do is, first of all, in your ancestral ring of fire, you want to have divine protection walking in the door no matter what. So the meditation, practice for a long time should be just about being protected. Unfortunately, everything here needs to be protected. This is a place of, it's psychic warfare. I wish it wasn't, but it really is. It's psychic warfare. And you need to be protected. And things are not what they seem. And people are not what they seem. And you're going to get things talking in your ear, and it's a bad spirit. Get the fuck out. It's just like a person. When I work with people, and they're like, I'm hearing things, I'm seeing things. I'm like, the spirit world is just like the material world. If you don't want to talk to somebody on the bus and they're like right in your face and you're on the bus, what do? Get the fuck out. You have to be like that exactly in the spiritual world as well. And that's why you have to know what your own energy is. If you don't know what your energy is, you're not going to know when you're being violated. Because you don't have any idea. You have no boundaries and you're all over the place. So you have to have that in place about what your specific aura and energy feels like and where it is and where it's sitting in your body. Shakti Namaste. My name's Kirk Kerber. This has been your masterclass in psychic healing, as well as psychic mediumship. We're going to do the next video, 20 questions to ask a psychic medium. Until then, stay true, stay in the light. Remember, it's not about power, it's about grace. If you haven't seen the other vids, this is your opportunity. They're somewhere in my profile. On my profile page, I have 2 profiles on YouTube. Whew, I'm walking out of the trance. See, now I'm just coming back here. Wow. I don't know. I went deep. I went deep with you guys. I mean, we were really like up in the something, right? We were in the zone. We were in the zone. Okay, 2 YouTube channels. Kirk Kerber, Spiritual Healing Arts, and then one just Kirk Kerber. So these videos are all going on to the Kirk Kerber profile. This is vid number 4. And so if you want to catch up, they're down there somewhere on my profile, and look for vid number 5. So you're letting go, you're letting go. Respected and protected. It's not about power, it's about grace. I will see you next time in the Cyber Temple of Love. Shakti. Thanks for watching. Namaste. One more time. Shakti. Namaste.